The doctor said, "Without pupils one cannot see. This is a miracle." The story of Gemma Di Giorgi. Please subscribe to our channel. Also click on the thumbs up, the like button, and click on the bell. Ring the bell and you will receive future notifications. Okay, Gemma was born in Sicily on Christmas Day in 1939. And it soon became apparent to her parents that something was wrong with her eyesight. When she was 3 months old, she was taken to see the local doctor. The local doctor referred her to an eye specialist, and Gemma was examined by 2 ophthalmologists. Both of them concluded the same thing: Gemma has no pupils, she will never be able to see. So this is when she's 3 months of age. She's diagnosed as being blind for life. The family did not give up. At the local church, they offered all their prayers for her healing, that she may see again. One of their relatives was a devout nun, and she advised them that they entrust Gemma in their prayers to Padre Pio. The grandmother asked the nun if she would send a letter to Padre Pio. And so she did. A little while later, this nun had a vivid dream. And in the dream she saw Padre Pio. And Padre Pio asked her, "Where is Gemma?" She introduced Gemma to Padre Pio. This was in the dream. The next day, a letter came through from Padre Pio to the nun. The nun found it quite amazing that the day after her dream, she received a letter from Padre Pio. And she encouraged the family to take Gemma to see Padre Pio in San Giovanni Rotondo. When she was 7 years old, Gemma and her grandmother took a train trip to see Padre Pio. During the trip, Gemma told her grandmother that she was able to see some of the outdoor landscapes. But her grandmother thought that Gemma was imagining things. After the trip, the grandmother was surprised when Padre Pio singled them out and came to speak directly to them and called Gemma by her name without ever having met Gemma before. Gemma went to confession with Padre Pio, and the grandmother advised her that she must ask Padre Pio for special prayers for the healing of her eyes. But unfortunately, Gemma forgot to ask during the confession, and this left the grandmother very upset. She was only 7 years old, so she was very young, so it's understandable. Later, the grandmother went to confession, and at the end of her confession, she told Padre Pio that Gemma was very upset as she had forgotten to ask for prayers for a healing of her eyes. "I asked the grace for Gemma." And Padre Pio said to her, "Do you have faith, my daughter? The child must not weep, and neither must you, for the child sees. And you know she sees." And after this, Padre Pio gave the child her first communion, and while he was doing that, he blessed both her eyes. On the journey home, the grandmother found she was extremely tired and had to be admitted to hospital. So they went to the hospital of Cosenza. There the grandmother recovered, and once she had recovered, she asked the specialist to have a look at Gemma's eyes. So the specialist looked at Gemma's eyes and came to the same conclusion: there is no pupil, she is blind. So the grandmother was confused because Padre Pio told her she can see. So the grandmother insisted, no, she can see. The doctor showed Gemma some objects to prove that she couldn't see, and to his surprise, she could recognize the objects. Held up his hands and asked her to count how many fingers and things like that, and she got it right. At which point the doctor said, "Without pupils one cannot see. It is therefore a miracle." Thereafter, she was examined by many other specialists, and they all came to the same conclusion. that she has no pupils, she must be blind, but that she can see. Gemma's eyesight continued to improve. In 1967, she had an interview with Clarice Bruno. And Clarice described it that she still looks blind. So her eyes still look as if she's blind, but she's definitely seeing. And in 1971, Father John Schuch interviewed Gemma, and he said the same thing. She looks like a blind person. Her eyes are shallow and lusterless, but there is no doubt that she can see. I saw her reach for a phone book and read a number and make a call while he was sitting there without any difficulty. And that is the story of Gemma Giorgi. If you have enjoyed this video, then please click on the subscribe button below, click on the like, which is the thumbs up, and the bell. Ping the bell and you'll receive notifications of future videos in the series. Apostolica Ecclesia